Loading up No Man's Sky for the first time reveals the vastness of space, punctuated with tiny pinpricks of light. Stars. Thousands and thousands of stars. Each one is its own little system with planets and sometimes even moons for you to explore. This wondrous display also serves as the game's only load screen, as after a short while drifting through the cosmos, you awaken on a planet to begin your journey. That planet is likely to be yours alone, untouched by any other human being. There are said to be 18 quintillion planets to explore, each with its own diverse flora and fauna to discover. Some get lucky and find themselves on a garden paradise, others start in a toxic, mostly barren homeworld and have to learn the ropes mighty quick. While we thought the game was going to be about exploring those 18 quintillion planets, it's actually about something much more simple: surviving and hopefully thriving. Of course, the galaxy does everything in its power to stop you. Radioactive atmospheres, nuclear rain, toxic dust, and plain old extreme temperatures all must be overcome while you scavenge resources to improve your spacesuit, multi-tool, and starship. While you're doing all of that, you can also catalogue those strange animals, plants, and even the rocks you come across, naming each one and submitting it to the central database in case other players ever find them. Being an exploration and survival game, the storyline is a little sparse, dealing with whether the galaxy is truly real or just a simulation of some kind. I won't spoil that one for you. With the resource gathering required to make enough hyperspace jumps to hit each of the arbitrary waypoints, it'll take you about 12 to 24 hours to hit the end of that thread. But that's only if you're mostly focusing on that. And why would you? You have the freedom to go anywhere and do whatever you like, and there's an entire galaxy at your fingertips. While you're off going anywhere and doing whatever, you will likely see flying robots buzzing around the place, seemingly doing much the same thing as you. Scan this plant, analyse that creature, move on. These are the Sentinels, and they're mostly harmless, unless you start interfering with the world that they live in. Mine a little too much of that rock or start taking potshots at the wildlife, and the nearest Sentinel will buzz over and commence scanning you. If you put your multi-tool away at this point, they'll generally just follow you for a while, noting what you're up to before moving on. If you carry on blasting away at the landscape or try to shoot the Sentinel, it will fight back. One Sentinel by itself should be easy pickings, particularly if you've just upgraded your multi-tool with some combat modules. If you don't destroy it quickly enough, it can alert other nearby Sentinels, and that can quickly turn ugly. On standard planets, it's easy to avoid this situation by not blowing up great chunks of the landscape. On more exotic planets, the Sentinels can be hostile from the moment you set foot planetside, forcing you into frequent firefights to get anything done. These firefights will drain your multi-tool's battery, requiring recharge often at the very worst time. Fortunately, plutonium is scarily common in a lot of planets, with giant red crystals of the stuff jutting up out of the ground. Having plenty of it at all times is definitely a good idea. Because it's so easy to get, plutonium also serves as an easy way to make money at a trading post. The galactic currency known as units can be used to buy ships, backpack upgrades, or even resources. In theory, you could live your No Man's Sky life as a trader, buying low and selling high, and then getting attacked by space pirates because of all the pretty rocks you're carrying. Space combat is underwhelming. It mostly comes down to a series of jousting runs with both ships trying to come around on target before the other to get more shots in. Flying around in general is also not the best experience. You can only get so close to the ground on a planet without landing, and trying to crater your ship reveals an incredible invisible force field that gently nudges you away constantly. No awesome passes under land bridges, no buzzing the tower, just gentle swooshing across the surface 100 metres below. That's not to say there aren't any crashes, because oh boy does No Man's Sky crash. A lot. Which is not unusual for a newly released game these days, but this one was already pushed back from its initial release and received a fairly hefty patch right out of the gate. It feels a little unfair to be hard on a small developer for bugs in a game that is of unprecedented scale. But when you're hitting up every save point you can find to avoid losing 30 minutes of progress on a regular basis, it's not a problem that can be ignored. The problems are frustrating, as the game is otherwise truly exceptional. Hours can fly by as you explore the farthest reaches of the galaxy, gawking at amazing alien vistas and planning out your upgrade path. You can try to reach the centre of the galaxy or deliberately go the other way. It's entirely up to you. Explore, fight, trade, survive? Yes, please.